welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is Reckless Zanande Boetis.
Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
I laughed.
I love how she just blasts it. Like, it's so great.
Oh, what a great scene, too. It's a pitch perfect song, too. I mean, it's so on the nose, it goes past kind of obvious and towards just beautiful. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I've been laughing. Like, the quote, there's a scene where Alexandra Daddario, her character's name is Alexis, and she's talking to her dad, John Henry Butler, played by Johnny Knoxville. Spoilers, but I do like when he's like, what did we call you when you were younger? Hey, that's pretty good, Johnny Knoxville. And she's like, Reckless Alexis. And that just made me laugh. Like, it doesn't quite rhyme, but I just love the Reckless Alexis. She has her face, busted open from her brawl with Kean, or from Mark. I guess Kean Johnson's the character. But I just love the Reckless Alexis. It's just it's just such a random funny bit in this film. And in this, 90-minute movie, which is probably the greatest thing on whenever we come across these short movies, Anandi, it's beautiful.
We love it, right? That's our thing, Mark. Like, give us a 90s movie, we'll talk about it, because we probably love it.
And you and I, we've been tackling some really heavy films that are wonderful. I'm not saying they're bad, but like Dr. Sleep. And then we talked Taco. Yeah, we did The Dark and the Wicked. We've just had some pretty legit movies that we've talked about. And that's why this movie's such a blast. Yes.
Yeah.
People do get stabbed and murdered in this movie. People's hair gets lit on fire. There are some ritualistic things. There's a lot of profanity. There's I think the director said they dropped the F-bomb over 140 times. Because that's what happens when you allow actors to improv. They just swear. But it's still so much fun. This is a fun movie. And it's a fun movie with really good performers in it. I like all the actors. I think all of them nail their parts. You like the kids. The more you watch it, I think I like them more. It's just I keep saying it, but it's a fun movie. We summon the funness, oh brother.
We summon the funness. I love it. Yeah, that's exactly. And I mean, there's some good humor in it too. You've got these kids that, we're going to get into spoilers because it will be impossible to talk about the movie otherwise. Mm-hmm. But these three girls, they're supposedly these big, religious kids, but wow, the blasphemy they throw around. Yeah. It's these little jokes, and it's there, but it's not obvious, but it's there. And that end scene with her and her dad, with Alexis and the pastor,
John Henry Butler.
I mean, you said so well. That was actually so over the top hysterical, with the reckless Alexis and just everything. It actually made it more funny, and I think that's what I loved about this movie, because it didn't take itself too seriously. It didn't slap us over the head with messaging and stuff. I also love at the beginning, especially rewatching it. So now, because listen, the first time we saw this, I'm sure you probably will agree with me that, we knew, okay, these girls, there's all this ritual thing, murders happening, satanic ritual murders and stuff. And we immediately knew these girls were up to no good. We knew, that wasn't a twist for us. We knew. But then even still, because there are little twists as it goes. Oh, okay, she's actually the daughter of the pastor. La, 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 la. But yeah, still in the beginning where the guys, drive past him and they throw out the shake thing. And at one point, I think it was Alexis or someone that's I don't understand what's wrong with people. And it's such a sincere line. But then at the end of the movie, it's what's wrong with you? And I love that little call out to self type of vibes that happened in the movie with the characters. That opening scene with the girls in the car as well. Oh my God. What's that one line? Makeup is like war paint.
Yeah. That's a great line, isn't it?
Oh, it's so, I enjoyed this movie so much. There were some very cool lines. It was just fun. I also love it that, the first shots, we've got it's Indiana, 1988. So it's an 80s movie, but they never went for the whole 80s cinematography thing that we see all the time these days. It felt so modern, and I really, really like that. I think we should actually filmmakers in general take notes of how you can actually do that. It doesn't mean because it's set in the 80s you have to have this whole 80s look to it.
Beat you over the head, posters everywhere, music everywhere, shirts everywhere.
The funny 80 filters that they use, the cinematographers, like we don't need that. It can like because I love the whole thing that it felt so modern. I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, there are movies that are in the 70s, but they just use an orange tint to let you show that it's the 70s because people assume orange with the 70s. It's
like, was there no other color in the 70s?
Yeah, it's just orange like filters all over the place. But that's really neat what you said. And yes, this does take place in the 80s during the Satanic Panic era. I think, which I like, but they don't even lean that heavily into that. They just, it's, okay, this is going on. They don't even say it that much in this film, which I like. And another thing about this movie, it could have really leaned into heavily into cults or abuse or manipulation or children who are products of abuse or, becoming part of a cult. This could have been a mean movie. But instead, it's Alexis, Val, and Beverly trying to kill Mark, Kovacs, and Ivan. Well, or killing them. And it's I just like that they've never killed anybody in their lives. And then they're hunting down these two people, and everyone's bad at everything here. It's
so bad.
And you know what I love too is, so I was a bouncer in a bar for years, and I always bring this up on the podcast, and I know maybe it gets annoying, who cares? But whenever I saw people fight, you see these big, like burly, or, women or men. I saw tons of brawls, doesn't matter who. But everyone's swaggering. Everyone has this big swagger. But when fights break out, they're the ugliest thing you could possibly see, Zanandi. I mean, it just looks like people windmilling. People windmilling, wrestling, getting tired, pulling on shirts, going for eye gouges, just missing, just people. So, they're all burly. Like, in a fight, I would do a triple kick and then land this. But then when they do fight, they're tired in 20 seconds and then they puke outside. So when you watch these movies, and a lot of people say, oh, I would do that or I would do that. I like that this movie is, my cat just meowed. I like in this movie that I'm keeping that in too because I love hanging out with my cat. But no one knows what they're doing. They're just, I like how ugly it is, but it's still silly. Everyone's plans are bad. I mean, people lock themselves in rooms. Like, people are stuck. Like, it's just a guy yells at a person with a knife and then gets killed. Like, I have a question. If Ivan went hard at Alexis when they drug them, so they bring these three rockers back from a concert.
He like pushed the buttons completely because he was saying all the right stuff.
So these three girls go to a rock concert, which they tried to do their best. This documentary, Heavy Metal Parking Lot, before a Judas Priest concert. It's a documentary I really want to watch. So they tried to recreate that. They meet three guys. They bring them back to their mansion. They drug them, tie them up. They're going to do a fake ritualistic murder so that everyone thinks there's a satanic panic. So more people go to the church, which really helps out John Henry Butler, Johnny Knoxville, who is just buying mansions and getting rich in the process. So he's having his Daughters of the Light, I believe, Daughters of the Dawn, murder people to create a satanic panic so more people go to Christianity. But I'm lost. Oh, no, but then Ivan just starts going hard at Alexis. Would they have murdered those kids? Like, would they have gone through with it?
Yeah, I think they would have, because like Alexis and Val were pretty like blood hungry at that point. I mean, because at that point they already like drugged the guys.
Yeah, there's no going back.
And they were showing no remorse. Beverly was the only one that was like, because I love that too, because like at the heavy metal concert in the parking lot before the show, like they were talking about metal bands and what was your first show and whatever. And it was clear there that Alexis, she claims to be like this like fan of heavy metal or whatever, but she couldn't answer like what was her first concert.
The Scorpions,
she didn't know that Randy Rhoads died in a plane crash. Like she didn't know anything, and like it was subtle, but it was there. Like so, it was like, what's this now? Where Beverly, she was like, she's really into like her metal. Like even back at the house, she was still talking to the guys before pre-drugging. She was talking to the guys about like metal and rock and stuff.
Yeah, Metallica and Megadeth.
I think for her it was like, this is actually my people, you know? Not the cold people. This is actually my people. So, I mean, because she was the only one that like was starting to like, oh, this is wrong. I can't kill them. Well, no, I think those other two, no, they were pretty ready to do it. Like, and they didn't really flinch much. Like when Alexis did her first kill, they were both like staring in wonder at it, like real freaking psychopaths. So
yeah, Maddie was very happy.
Yeah, I mean, Ivan, Ivan didn't help himself by totally going off, but I mean, that was also a natural reaction. And I love it about this movie because there's a lot of natural things happening. Like you say, how they're so bad at this because they've never done it. Of course, they'll be bad at it. Like they're being pretty dumb about it anyways. But there's also like a satirical vibe to this movie. That's the fun part. That's where the fun comes in. Like, because you've got these like heavy elements really. Like it is there, especially in the lines. Like in the end where the preacher is also like, how many more children must die in Satan's name? Just that line. I thought that was such a good line for this movie specifically because it just summed up the absurdity of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like these little things that they say, which that's why I say like it's got a bit of a satiric feel to it. But then, yeah, just seeing how it all like this is my favorite fake satanic ritual gone wrong movie.
Yeah, oh, easily, yeah. Number one for sure.
Number one.
But I do think you're right. There's enough small things in here when Maddie says, "Hey, I flattened your tires. You can't drive away," and then when Kovacs gets stabbed in his arm. She probably nicked an artery, so he can't move. So then Mark is sort of stuck there. Mark's just not gonna leave Kovacs, and he can't drag him out because that'll probably lead to death. So there's enough tiny things in this movie that just make you understand all the choices just a little bit. They just give you enough to be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And even what Val in the beginning, Val makes a comment about her dad, and Alexis goes, "Oh, we're not going there again." So then that shows Val came from somewhere that they never want to get into more with that throwaway line. And then Beverly, she's like, "I don't drink anymore," but she's a teenager, which means maybe she did drink. And then when they all take the Jägermeister, Val and Alexis react to it like it's the worst thing they've ever had. Like and that's only Jägermeister. So I like the little moments. They explain more of the characters just watching them. I think this is a pretty rich film that I think you can miss some of this stuff if you're not paying attention.
Absolutely, because the teenagers are teenagers and they make them teenagers and it's so cool. It's like, and like you say, like the whole like backstories, like when they're doing their Never Have I Ever game and like Bev is like, yeah, I shoplifted. Like, what did you shoplift? Food. I shoplifted food. Mm-hmm. So of it there as well. So you've got like, you've got Val and Beverly that you know about that by that point. Okay, they come from like troubled childhoods and stuff, like things weren't easy. And then Alexis is like the character that kind of unravels up till the end, where you really see how bad she's had it with that crazy dad of hers that literally wants to kill her in the end. Holy crap.
He set her up because she's reckless.
He set her up and then he literally freaking like starts strangling her. Because I'm like, was he like, did he plan to come there anyway? Because the stepmom phoned him and then he came and he was like, oh, you messed this up. So I'm like, so was it the plan to kill her? That wasn't the plan, right? The plan was to set her up, but not the killing.
I think, he just wanted to set her up. And then he had to go there and take care of things because then they had cops dead and they had the stepmom dead with her coke buggers. And
so that's like killing his kid was plan B, which is like just insane.
Yeah, and he treated her
he's
so
such
bad.
A bad guy.
Yeah.
He's such a terrible guy in this movie. Like, he's like, over the top bad villainy. And he does pretty well. Good job, Knoxville.
I love Knox. So this movie shot in 16 days. And he was only there for 1 day. And he has a lot of moments in this film for a 1 day shoot. And Daddario said that he was the number one person he's ever worked with in regards to safety. When he was choking her, he was really concerned, and she said no one had ever looked after her on the set like that before. Which I think is pretty cool of Knoxville, that everyone loved him on there. But I mean, he's done Jackass. I think he knows how to control his body, and he's been hurt, so he doesn't want to hurt other people.
Combats and all of that, yeah, exactly.
But I like when he comes in the house and just drinks a beer or cola and has a cookie. It's just a weird. Sometimes I feel like those moments are too precious. But I feel like John Henry Butler just was sitting there formulating a plan in his brain, thinking about what he's going to do, listening to the chaos, and then moving forward with his plan. I thought that was pretty neat how they added that little scene in there of him just eating a cookie and just sort of thinking. But he does have that menace to him. I mean, look, like he does have that good kind of pastor mania. I mean, anybody who starts Daughters of the Dawn, I feel like there's going to be trouble eventually, right? And then there are people already onto him, which I thought was interesting. So I guess people were onto him, so then he wanted to frame his daughter to get out of that and make him so that no one could touch him. because his daughter was killed.
Yeah, and also like, yeah, because it was at their house as well. So I think that was like the big shoo-ah that, oh, these people actually came to my house and did it. Like,
Yeah. Man, and Alexis didn't even see it coming. And Val's such a maniac, she doesn't care. It's interesting.
oh no, yeah,
can
she's
tell,
on another planet.
You can tell that Beverly's new to the group, and she's seen some things, but she hasn't been part of this form of maybe brainwashing for that long or orientation into the cult.
Yeah, she's pretty new.
Yeah, Val's a maniac. Val's the evil one here. When he gets stabbed, she is just laughing so hard about that, and then she just, I don't know. I love her reaction to him. She's just a little maniac. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, she's like the rebel teenager. Like, I feel like Alexis is like the poster child for brainwashing, for cult brainwashing. Like, and Val is just rebel. Like, I don't even think Val necessarily buys into this crap much. Not like Alexis. I don't. I think she'll just like do anything for a kick. Literally. She's like the pure rebel, like, teenager.
That's a great point.
Whereas, yeah, Beverly is definitely the more troubled one, and yeah, has probably seen more than these other two country girls have ever. So
she's the person
I really like the characters, but also I did giggle because like we do have the trope of 3 girls find 3 boys at the concert that kind of match their personalities type thing trope. I mean, it worked. It's fine. It's just like, it was funny, the observation. Oh, 3. Not 4 guys, 3 guys. Oh, yeah. And they kind of complement or match our personalities. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, what if it was 6 people in that van?
They would they have bailed? Would they have still?
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't have done that, right? They probably would have gone for 1, right? Or 2? Like, how, This mission was not thought through, so it's clear that Knoxville gave her no direction, it seems like. Or, I'm sorry, John Henry Butler gave her no direction. He just knew she'd be reckless, and then that would end badly. Man, that's horrible.
I mean, the only thing they knew was, like, that it had to be more than one person because they needed to stage it like these people did, like, murder-suicide, because that's, like, the satanic ritual. It's a murder-suicide thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you need at least 2 people. But, yeah, I wonder, like, because I don't know. I think Val would have been like, 6? Yeah, I could take them.
Yeah. She would have. She's the type of person who uses she's the protester who starts the riot, pretty much. Yeah. She'll use anything to, what are we doing? Okay, cool. What's the reason? Fine. I'll say that's the reason. Let's go cause chaos. Oh,
exactly. Man. And in a way, Alexis too, just because, like, they both, like, they have this invincible thing going on, like, and Alexis is such a strong believer that she'll probably think she can take on 100 people and God will save her or whatever.
Until a sheet pan meets her face.
Listen, I love a fight with kitchen equipment.
Yeah,
I love it.
That bonk is hilarious. Both Val and Alexis get bonked.
I love it. I love it that they do it twice. I laugh every time in that scene. But also on that note, Mark, can we count the weapons used in this movie? Because it really is something. And it works so well because you've got this, like, situation that gets out of control. Of course they're going to use, like, anything they can. I mean, we've got the knives at first. Actually, we've got the drugs, actually, technically. I also love that, like, it's that whole thing. They kind of play into it when the boys realize, like, that they got drugged. And the one is like, if you guys wanted sex, you should have just, like, told us. Like, it would have been like, you don't have to drug us for it. And I was like, yeah, if a man, like, drugs you, it's for sex. If a woman drugs you, it's because she wants to murder you.
They were laughing at him. Val just started laughing at him, right? He's like,
she was, like, giddy. Absolute glee on that little girl's face. Oh, my word. But, yeah, so we've got the drugs. So we've got the knives. We've got a gun in there when the cop comes. Now we've got a gun in there. Like,
bottles, wine bottles.
Yeah, broken beer bottle in the back for Bev. Like, what's that grass cutter thing?
Oh, the motor that she had, the boat motor.
Is it a boat motor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she grabbed it from the boat.
Ah, of course. Okay. I was like, what weird grass cutter thing is this?
Why are you sneaking? Like, that's hard to sneak up on people on that thing, right? Like, I'm gonna sneak up on somebody with a boat motor. That's a tough weapon right there.
Like, Bev looked pretty hardcore with that boat motor. We've got a boat motor. We've got a lighter. we've got the car eating, like, they're in the end, like, oh, it's just, like, all the weapons of murder. It's amazing. It's a list.
Watching Alexis and Val cheer as they spray the poison in the room or the fire and just the smiles on their faces, fire in the hole, just having the time of their lives. They don't even know what they're into, though. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's interesting when things get real for Alexis. She sort of, I mean, she keeps going, but she kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. You have that, you know, it's like, you know, in fighting, you're an undefeated fighter and you think you could take on the world. And it's like, how do you react when you get your first loss? Or how do you react when you start losing? And it's interesting watching them all, because you're right. They all think they're invincible because they're young and dumb, or not young and dumb, but just young and inexperienced. So it's not, all that just makes me, we watch so many heavy movies. So just watching We Summon the Darkness, and the poster looks very serious. When I watched this movie, I had never seen a trailer. I thought it was just a really dark, We Summon the Darkness type film.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be serious. Like,
and it's just funny. And
it's funny, it's fun, it's delightful.
Yeah, Kovacs just won't die, and that makes me happy.
Listen, props to Kovacs. He might be, like, he joins the list of characters that really stuck in there for a very long time while bleeding profusely from a freaking, like, major artery. Like, well done. Like, it was kind of sad when that happened to him, because I was like, man, he fought so hard.
Yeah, he tried, right?
He really did.
And you know, it hurt when they had to leave him when he's laying at the door after being shot. After being shot, he crawled in there, or maybe Knoxville brought him in there. But I just really liked, I don't know, Kovacs grew on me. I mean, Mark, I mean, I guess they don't give him much to do, but he's still a survivor. Like, the acting was good. I like the kid. Oh, I gotta tell you something. So the director on the commentary, he was talking about filming this. They filmed in 16 days, and the cinematographer on the film walked up to him and was like, listen, man, I've done a lot of movies. So the cinematographer, her name is Taryn, her name is Taryn Anderson, and she walked up to the director and was like, I've worked on a lot of these movies, and normally when there's a young cast, they're always like partying or hooking up with each other. And she said it was the first time that none of the cast members did that. They just showed up. Everyone knew their lines. Everyone was super professional. I was listening to Daddario talk about it on the behind the scenes documentary, and she tried to play it as like a controlled child who had dealt with abuse. And Val was funny because she just loved it. Or I'm sorry, the Maddie Hansen was happy because she's like, I'm just a maniac and I'm just horrible at killing people, and it was fun to play. And just they all seem to really understand their characters. And I just loved hearing that, where they were really impressed with the fact that the actors showed up on time and knew their lines and were super professional.
I mean, that is so cool because, you know, apart from Johnny Knoxville and Alexandra Daddario, like, those two are probably the, like, you know, Johnny's the most famous person of all these. Mm-hmm. Like, Alex, I've only actually seen her in Baywatch. I haven't seen her other movies, but I also know, like, she's not this big star. What I'm trying to say is, like, a lot of these actors, they're not these big names and stuff. So to hear them take it so seriously is very, very cool, because kudos to all of them. They did a great job. I really enjoyed it. But also on that note, how much does, like, Kean Johnson look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I feel like he can play his brother in something.
Ooh,
just putting it out there.
They
just
should.
putting it out there.
He could be.
I always love doing that with actors. Like, who can play whose sibling?
He's in Alita too, like Kean Johnson.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's the kid who Alita falls for.
Of course it is. Oh my word. I missed him. Oh my word. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
You know,
Alita, yeah, he looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Alita came out in 2019, and doesn't it feel like it came out about 8 years ago? 2019 feels so long ago.
Dude, yeah. Oh my word, let's not talk about that, though.
And I just want to say...
That's a different podcast.
And another thing, Logan Miller, who plays Kovacs, is in a movie called... whatever. We have our explicit rate. He's in a movie called Shithouse that came out last year. $15,000 budget. It's about this kid who goes to high school, has kind of an interesting night with his RA. He meets her, and they have a turtle adventure, and then he's the type of kid who goes to college and doesn't go out at all. He goes and grabs his food, goes back to his room, calls his parents every day, just hasn't lived it. And then it's just him kind of coming to grips with just being away and making himself more comfortable and building a life. It's a really good movie. $15,000. I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. But Kovacs was in it, Logan Miller, and he plays the relationship between him and the other kid in Shithouse. They're so funny. They don't like each other, and the way they talk to each other is so weird. But I like Logan Miller. That was my long way of saying. I think he's an interesting actor. So I liked all the choices.
Nice. I remember you actually told me about this movie, and I still haven't watched it. I remember you talked about Shithouse last year when we did our like favorite horror movies and stuff, and you were like going on about this one, and actually put it on my list, but then forgot about it because, wow, I wish I could not work and just watch movies all day. Wouldn't that be great? Then like do a pod every day. Like that's our work. Like every day we just like chat about a movie.
Send me money,
and that's
please.
Life. That's amazing. That would be amazing. That's the dream.
But I guess it made me like this movie more now, knowing that they shot in 16 days. The process
That's
trailer,
amazing, yeah.
the process trailer that they had to put the car on in the beginning because they had a road broke down the first day, so they had to pivot. So I mean, that's kind of a lost day. And then they sort of had to deal with a few weather. They were supposed to shoot outside again, so after the concert they were going to go outside to the parking lot again, but the weather was bad. And the director remembered some advice he got from Roger Corman, which is wild, where he's like, never repeat a location. So they shot in that little hallway area after the concert to give a new location. So they had issues on there. They had a lot of, weather and night shoots and yada, yada, yada. And it was really cold because they shot in Canada. But 16 days to come out like this. They were always shooting. Like, always shooting. But it's still cool that... okay, this sounds bad, but I admire these people more for being professional. That's odd. I don't know. You can see it in the movie, is what I'm saying.
Nah, but yeah, listen, me too. I just like... I think it's like one of those things also... You're grateful to have a job so you don't mess it up. You know, like you take it seriously because you're getting paid a lot of money to do it anyways. So like you don't come and muck around like it's your playground, you know? I don't know. But maybe that's just like how we feel about being professional and stuff. So yeah, that makes me happy too, to hear all these good stuff, you know, being said about these young actors that really did a good job. Like, but I mean, yeah, how much fun. I think they also had like a lot of fun on set because just if you look at the situations they were in, I mean, I would have loved to act in this movie.
Yeah.
I think Val is one of the like funnest characters any like actress can ever do. Like, but even like I would do any of those three girls anyways. Like, you know, I think because it looks like a pretty fun project to do. Like, I think you get a lot of satisfaction out of doing something like this. And again, kudos to them because they executed it pretty well.
I did just check, and Daddario did produce this movie. She's one of the 36 listed producers on the film.
Yes, my girl.
So that's cool. You know, you, when you're a producer, you definitely take it a little bit more seriously because your name's on that. And I gotta say, we keep talking about Val, but props to Maddie Hassan because I was thinking about this. As a director, it's kind of good to hire younger actors because they can keep their energy up. I mean, you're shooting nights and days, and the amount of energy she had to keep up for this role. Because that's, you know, you and I have both been on a lot of film sets. We've worked on film sets. You've acted. It's hard to keep that energy up. And I think these young kids did a good job of that. But Val was on a whole nother planet. So kudos to Maddie for just being, I don't know. Just having people and having.
On.
Yeah.
She was like always on. And I mean, but even like, listen, Alexandra Daddario with those eyes, like, she really, those eyes popped. Oh my word, she had, listen, Val is like the maniac, but Alex like did the whole crazy eye thing.
Yeah.
It was really, and like Beverly with the intenseness, she really sold it. I think, you know, like, I think for a lot of like girls, she's probably the most relatable teenager. But you can also like, you can relate with Val's, especially Val's sexuality, like that being a teenage girl and stuff. Alexis being a little bit of a control freak. And then, but Bev, like having almost a normalcy in the group.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the dynamics of these three characters together. Like, I mean, the character work in this movie was really good. It was subtle, but it was there and it worked. It's why we like it. It worked. We got it.
When Val murders that cop. Oh man. And then cold-blooded.
In cold blood, dude. That's what I say. Those two would have done it anyway. If Ivan didn't go off on Alexis, they would have, no, cold-blooded. to psychosis.
And I love it when that cop walks in and sees the chaos and how shook he is by it. I'm like, I like this guy because he just saw some horrible things. I've never seen that on film where someone looks at this mutant that came from space and they're like, I'll just keep eating my pancakes. Like that guy was legit shook up by what he saw. And then I loved the power dynamics between Alexis and Val, where Alexis is like, "Are you idiot? Give me the gun." Val's like, "No, I'm not an idiot. Get over yourself." Like Val is not going to listen to Alexis. I don't think Val really ever listens to Alexis. And if it had to come down to Val listening to Alexis, Val probably would have killed Alexis. I keep saying the two names a lot. But I like the power flip. And then they started wrestling for the gun. They just fell apart.
That is such a girly moment as well. Like, I love that too. There's a lot of girl stuff in here. Like, I mean, we've got the obvious first scene that we have. But like, yeah, even I laugh every time because that's such a girly thing. Like rolling around on the ground to get a gun, which is pretty insane. But like, just the way they fight each other. Yeah.
I think Val,
like, you're right. The power play that happens is great because, yeah, like, I mean, I think Val thinks she's really the leader. But okay, fine. Let the pastor's daughter think she is whatever. We know who's the real leader. It's really that whole thing going on, and it's great.
Oh, man. Val would walk away from that fight. If this was like a King Kong versus Godzilla movie, Val's walking away. Because, I mean, Alexis would fight, but I think Val would pull any dirty trick in the book ever. Or just cold-blooded wipe people out. I think Val's walking away. Even over Beverly, I think Val's walking away from this. The winner. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too, but I think Val is extremely negligent. So she probably won't finish Alexis off, and then Alexis will get her in the back, because Alexis is someone that'll stab you in the back for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so
Val would just forget about it.
I think those two will actually just fight to the death, and they will both die in blood next to each other, and like probably have one last quip before they die.
Val would love it. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Like, oh my God. Yeah, I need to pop a squat. Also, more movies where, like, the girls are saying, I need to pop a squat. I love it. Yeah, more of that, please.
I'll just use this pickle jar. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah.
Like,
also,
no.
I love the guy at the gas station, like, the old guy. Like, I love his cap, also older than dirt. Like,
yeah.
It's just, like, that cap immediately tells you who this person is. Like, you know, he's like, this countryside, old guy. He doesn't really know what's going on. I do love his character that we see in the beginning and at the end. And he's just so oblivious to what's going on. But then also Izzy, like, I just love it.
Yeah, I love that older than dirt. What a great hat.
Yeah, older than dirt.
Oh, that makes me so happy. But hey, how about
you
this?
So proudly.
Let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we will talk more. We Summon the Darkness. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I don't know if you caught this. You definitely caught this in the beginning, but I don't know if you gave it a second thought, where they go into the gas station and they just buy up a lot of products and they have a $26 bill, which I guess with inflation, right? It's double that. So it's $52 at this convenience store that they just spend. And they got gas too. So add another $20 on that. So these kids are dropping about $100 at a gas station like it's nothing. So I thought that was pretty interesting to see when I first saw that, because I immediately thought, these kids got money. Because when you and I were in high school, we weren't just going to gas stations and dropping $26. I never did that. Like, I got a job at Burger King to eat for free. I got a job at a movie theater to watch movies for free. So I don't know. Did that hit you weird when you saw them like have no problem spending $26 on food?
It's funny because I didn't really see how much they spent, and also, yeah, I don't really know the dollar vibes. It's not my currency.
Oh, got it. Like, okay, well,
but what I picked up in that scene is all the sweets that they bought. These girls bought sweets like kids. Like, after that, we've got like Beverly sucking on one of those ring dummy lollies in the car, and I was just like, again, watching it the second time, these are just kids, man. They're buying all the sweets. Like, they're just children going on this freaking, like, what do you call it? This mission.
Murder mission, yeah.
But they're kids, man. Buying sweets at the gas station. All the sweets. They bought all the sweets, Mark.
Did you for 1 second, I didn't know anything about this movie, but did you for 1 second, I mean, maybe the DVD gave it away, or the Netflix cover, but did you ever think that those kids were bad? Because they tried to do the Switchblade with Mark. I always knew it was the girls. I always knew it, right? Did you ever think that it might be the three kids? Or the three
There
guys?
was, when they met the guys, there was a moment where I went like, But then, yeah, when Alexis was so sketchy about like the bands and stuff, I was like, no, it's the girls. It's definitely the girls. I didn't like know why yet and what, but yeah, no, there was a brief moment where I wondered maybe the boys, but then I was like, no, this is not the kind of movie, Andy. It's the girls.
It was a fun flip though. It's
Yeah, it was still fun. Even when you know it was coming, it was still fun. And that wasn't really the twist. Like the twist came later, like how they were doing this for their like Pastor John. Say the name.
Oh, which one? John Henry Butler.
There we go. John Henry Butler. Yeah, you said well. Like, yeah, I think all of that was more like, the real twists of the movie and stuff. But I did like it. They like there's a lot of subversive elements in the movie that made it so much fun. I think that's again part of the funness and why we enjoyed it. Like it felt a bit fresh. Like this is not the kind of movie that you see every day. It's not like they're churning these out in Hollywood. So I thought it was pretty cool.
And this movie has only a 5.2 on IMDb, which is a bit of a bummer. So I don't know what people are really expecting for this. It is a fresh score, which is good, which I love, but I don't really know what I guess maybe people were expecting something darker, right? Like maybe the trailers and the box set expectations that you were about to have I thought it was mystical. When I saw We Summon the Darkness, I thought it was going to be, I had no idea the three kids were in it. I thought it was going to be like the three girls summoning a demon and dealing with that. So I had no idea what this was. But I wonder if expectations sort of hurt and gave it a 5.2. Because that's not very good on IMDb.
It's not, but like, or maybe it was the evangelist rating it on.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I'm thinking evangelist wouldn't like this movie, probably. I don't know. I don't think they might share the same humorous take on things.
You know what's interesting too is this is a movie that it clearly, Daughters of the Dawn and these large mega churches and the amount of money they spend. And it's interesting how it walks a fine line of there is a critique on modern day super churches and cults and brainwashing, but it's not really an outright condemnation of all religion. It's interesting. It doesn't. I guess if you're one of these people, you're going to hate it anyway because it brings that up. But it's not outright dismissive towards an entire group of people. It's just talking about sort of the institution. I found that really interesting. That it wasn't like a condemnation on everything. It's not that kind of movie. It was more of a sort of a super church satanic panic. The way people use that to to gain followers. I thought it was an interesting way that they did that. I don't know if you got that vibe.
Yeah, it's like the means to an end. Now, that's why I said earlier on that there's definitely satirical elements to this movie, and that is the satire of saying, like again, that line that he throws in the end of how many more children must die in the name of Satan. Well, you're literally giving it the name Satan. You, the church, is doing it. So, like, don't know what to tell you, buddy. And yeah, again, using it for a means to an end. There's definitely some commentary, and that's why I say there's definitely like it's leaning towards some horror satire. I digged it. I digged it that it wasn't, like you say, that big of a condemnation, even though I guess some people might see it that way. Most people will see it for what it is, like a little glimpse of, and especially like all of us who grew up with the satanic panic, we had it in South Africa too, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a real thing. That happened. That was crazy. I actually, like, a friend of mine, her brother died in a murder-suicide pact, and it was all blamed on, like, the satanic shit of them. And it was bad. But it's like, these people's hysteria about it is, like, what makes it so bad. Like, who gives it the name? We do. In this movie, the church literally, or this specific church literally does. So, I liked it that it was this commentary, but again, not slapping us over the head with it or being all serious about it. Like, it really showed teenagers in this situation, which is pretty cool because, you're a kid and now you have to deal with all this, like, stuff that adults are telling you, and it's weird, man.
Yeah, and your kids.
It's a lot. Your kids.
Yeah.
You just want to eat your Twinkies.
Exactly. Yeah. Where are my Twinkies at? Where are they? Where are they? I think we ran out.
Always eat your Twinkies and be done with it.
And I love and when they're in the pantry, locked in the pantry, that there's a bunch of Twinkie boxes. It was just a good touch by the prop department who were in there. And another thing I wanted to talk to you about is Alan Trezza, the writer. He also wrote Burying the X and Daddario was in that with Anton Yelchin. And his commentary, he's on the commentary with director Mark Myers. And they were really interesting together because they had they seemed to be really, none of them had egos. So I guess when Alan gave the script to Mark sort of changed it around a lot. There was a lot more winking in the original script and there were other scenes and it was only a 95-page script and they got it down to 88 pages. So not much was lost. But I guess there was originally a lot more winks and Alan, so Mark would pitch, so Mark and his wife, they work as a production team together, Mark Myers and his wife. And they changed some stuff in the script and Alan's like, well, just let me go home and think about it. And then he would come back the next day and be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we should lose this winky bit right here. And I think if we did this, so the writer had he was not precious about his work at all.
Nice.
And there was a couple times where the director was like, yeah, I took out that one bit because I didn't like it. And the writer's kind of like, well, yeah, that makes sense for the sense of this. Like you really made a smart idea on that. But it wasn't passive aggressive. Neither one was rude to each other. They just both sort of worked together to make the best movie they could. And it was refreshing because I don't know. It was cool just to hear the two talk about their relationship and how the script formed. And I guess for writers sometimes with egos, I don't have one anymore. I think writers with egos maybe haven't been writing long or writing too long. Who knows? But it was cool hearing about how the script came together and how it became what it was and how it adapted once they got their actors. But I recommend anybody listening to it because they talk about the process trailers breaking down. They talked about the Canadian crew. They had two guys called the Blood Brothers who could just figure anything out regarding blood at a minute's notice. So behind the scenes, you just see these two cool Canadian dudes with dreads running around, dropping blood everywhere. So that was pretty cool. They knew how to do all that. And I mean, to shoot anything in 16 days and to make it this cohesive, that's tough. That's exhausting. But I also like where I listened to the Brightburn. I was going to say super bad. I listened to the Brightburn commentary and the director for that was like, I said he had like a mental breakdown and he had a hard time one day on set and almost fell apart and he just couldn't handle it a couple times. But then this guy was like, yeah, it was hard, but we did it. Like it's a super professional production. And once again, it's the 8th time I've said it. But since you and I have stood around on so many sets drinking coffee, it just makes me like this movie more because 16 days is nothing. That's nothing for a movie.
That's nothing. That goes by so quick. Oh my word. Like that's impressive.
But 36 producers. And they do make the opening part of this movie is quite funny because this is a short movie. It clocks in at 1:31. Take out 4 minutes of credits. And then the beginning, they do the 7 production companies that did it. They show the pictures for all of them. And then they go back and they show you the text for all 7 production companies. So the director was making fun of that in the commentary because, I mean, it's wild. This what, probably $3-4 million to make. I don't know. I love how many people had to come together to do this. But do you think this film would have done well in the theaters? Or do you think this is a direct to streaming movie?
Wow. I actually think it would have been fun to watch in a theater. I would have loved to go watch this on the big screen. I think it would have been a blast. I think people would have been cheering. I think, that's actually, I didn't even think about that. But I would have loved to see this on the big screen. I think it would have been a fun experience. With
a rowdy crowd at like a film festival, like a Fantastic Fest or something, just everyone cheering that on.
And I think the word of mouth from that would have helped the movie as well. I actually do think that because this is it's a fun movie. We keep saying it, but it's really fun. Like, there's a lot to love in this movie.
Do you think you and I love this movie so much? Or, I don't know, love or like it a lot because we were watching some pretty heavy stuff. And so I watched this when we were preparing for our best 2020 horror podcast. So I wanted to watch everything. So I had watched Relic again. There's Swallow. There's, I don't know, The Intruders with Maisie Williams. I was just digging through all the horror I could find, Dark and the Wicked. And then this little thing comes along. I don't mean to be reductive. This movie comes along and it was like a light opened up over me. So I wonder if I had watched it during normal times, if I would love it so much.
Listen, I know I would, but
Yeah.
it's because I like stuff that flips, like, the subversive angles. Like, give me the unexpected, give me something different, like not the usual same old. Like, that's really my kind of vibe. So I think I would have loved this movie whenever. But I do hear what you're saying. Like, we definitely, of all the horror stuff, this and Freaky was probably the funnest movies I've watched, like from last year, that was actually fun, and you were kind of like laughing and cheering for people and stuff.
Those kills in Freaky are very fun. The tennis racket kill. I know it's people getting murdered. That Landon, between Happy Death Day films and this, he's found a really interesting way to take a familiar trope like a time loop or body swap and take murders and just make them funny. It's an interesting... It's really interesting.
And again, a bit subversive. Again, like flips it, like do something different with it. I just like stuff that tries to do something different. It was like, so I watched Willy's Wonderland for the first time this week.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I love that movie so much. I love it. But because, look what's happening. It's so, again, something so different. Like, oh, what a great movie.
That's been one of our most popular episodes of late. People are really listening to Willy's Wonderland. So
I was very jealous when I heard you and David already talked about it. Like, 'cause, oh gosh, what a fun, great film to talk about. Like, that's a good one. Glad you guys did a talk on it.
Mandy, Color Out of Space, and Willy's Wonderland, they're three completely different films, but they all work on their level. So I think Mandy is just a sensory blast film that's just pure, I think it's pure art, Mandy. I think it's provocative and wild and like an art house picture. And then you have Color Out of Space, which is a gonzo, brightly lit. It's so glossy looking, the way that's shot, but then it goes to some horrible territory. And then you have Willy's Wonderland, which is just a straight up silly ride. That is Nick Cage pummeling on creatures and, beating them up in bathrooms. And they're so different, but yet, so good. I love it. I don't even think you can compare the three of them because they're all so different to each other. But Cage has done some pretty good horror lately.
Absolutely. No, it's good to have him on the horror side because clearly it's working. We've been getting some good stuff from him for sure.
What did you think about Daddario's or Alexis's matching upside down crosses? She had the earrings and then she had the necklace.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought that was so typical. Like she's like the pastor's daughter and that's also the thing. Like we're so used to seeing like, the kids of like pastors and stuff being all rebel against like the religion, growing up in the houses and whatever. Not Alexis. No, she's like buying into it hook, line, and sinker, like so much that she's used to like buying all the stuff, all the like jewelry and stuff. I can see her just always wearing her crosses, like everything has crosses and everything has stickers with crosses and like, she's very, very into it. So when she does something, she goes like all over with it, which I kind of love because she actually looked so tacky, but that was like her version of trying to look cool now, trying to look like, like I'm into heavy metal, I'm like an anarchist, That was her idea of looking like that. Like I thought the wardrobe in general, from especially like Alexis and Val, like it felt very much over the top, but it worked. It worked great. Like where Beverly was way more natural, like. But again, she was actually into rock and metal, so she looked like someone that was into rock and metal. The other two were like, that's like the definition of trying too hard, and like also like kind of a giveaway. Like, they come from a different place, really. I mean, Val was having more fun with it. Alexis was, weird with all the crosses.
If she was an undercover cop, she would get called out immediately.
Rookie mistake, girl. Rookie mistake.
But that's funny that you say that, because definitely I worked at a bar that had a lot of metal bands, hardcore music, and you could always tell the real ones, the real fans of the metal, because they just showed up looking, for lack of a better word, unkempt. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
like that's a
Like they
hardcore
didn't
fan right
care.
there.
Like they just had a nap and they didn't even like change their clothes. They just came to the show. Absolutely.
And then you had the newer
Versus the
folks,
newbies.
who
Yeah.
dressed up more and kind of went for it. And maybe they do love it, but they're just new at it and they haven't had, like, maybe they are interlopers. Maybe they want to interact with this world for a little bit. But you could always tell who was newly into it and then who was for real into it. Like the kids all look the same. If I saw a kid walking up with jean shorts that were cut off from jeans, really old shoes, some form of black shirt, and then gauges in their ears, I'm like, yeah, this kid likes hardcore music. That's how I knew the hardcore fans were the real ones. But I mean, that's still good costume work though on this. It just shows once again people thought it through. They thought their characters through.
It was realistic. Yeah, it was realistic. And I think it's also part of the fact that we knew it was the girls because that was already off for us. Like it didn't fit. That's why we knew from the beginning, yeah, these girls are going to be summoning some stuff.
Some darkness.
The wardrobe, it gave them away.
But yeah, I don't know. And then the dynamics between the kids and the band and the one kid was leaving.
Oh yeah, going to California, leaving them behind. There was also a little bit of like the outsiders with Bev and Mark leaving, like, and the rest is like, country folk just staying in one place where all this nonsense is happening. There was definitely an underlying thing there too. Again, they didn't really hit on or anything, but it was there. And I thought that's also like a cool little extra layer to it. And that's the two that got out. The two that wanted out, I guess,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they did. They should definitely though wash off their vehicle because they have Alexis's hair in it. That's not.
I mean, oh my gosh, listen, I didn't even think about this, but I so want a sequel to this movie now with Beverly and Mark, and they've never spoken about any of this, but then, because there's like a whole big congregation and like Pastor John is still like out there and then like they track these two down in California and there's a whole freaking thing happening again.
Oh, yeah.
Sequel.
And Val's still around.
Yeah, who made it?
I don't know how.
Who gets to, feature in the sequel? I am there for it. We need a sequel.
The twin sister is back.
Crowdfund a sequel.
And you know what I like too is Taryn Anderson, that she's the cinematographer on this. She shot tape 49 on VHS2. She was on a thing called, she shot Southbound. She also did a segment in XX, the anthology film, and she's been shooting Blind Spotting, which is really cool, which makes me happy because I like that movie a lot. She kept finding glass to shoot through. I don't know if you noticed that. There's tables shooting up. Like when the stepmom is doing the line of cocaine, you see her shooting up through the glass table, shooting up her nose. And I thought it was interesting meat and potatoes cinematography, but I really liked when they're lighting the stuff on fire and they're smiling. I really felt like Taryn knew how to get. It seems like they shot a lot of the film on a tripod. There's only a couple scenes that are on a Steadicam, but I loved her framing in this because not one shot in this movie ever took me out of it, if that makes sense. Sometimes in horror films, there's a shot that tries too much. There's none of that in this. I think it services the film really well, and I think she crushed it. Taryn Anderson did.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I mean, you're right. There was no shot that ever took me out. It felt natural, but still exciting enough to keep me going. That's also the thing. It's a fine line because I hate it when people get overly, everything needs to be shot from the bottom up. You get those filmmaking that it becomes too, where you can see, oh, someone did a lot of fun experimenting, but kind of to the detriment of the movie. I didn't feel like it at all with this movie. It felt seamless, really. It worked.
And the costume designer's Maxine Baker. She also did Jason X. I'm glad that she didn't lean into the Jason X. I mean, the Jason X costumes were fine for what they were, but yeah, this was much better, I would say. I'll give that.
No, this was pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig it.
Like I say, I love it that this movie had this. There was a naturalist feeling to it. Everything felt natural. Everything felt like, yeah, I buy this. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't really anything that someone did or the way things looked. Oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about the interior of that house.
Yeah. that they
Kudos
took.
to set design because well done on that too. Like, wow, money don't buy taste. That house.
Yeah, and it never felt overly tacky though. Sometimes you see it and you're like, oh, that's so 80s. This one felt, oh, okay, cool. Like this is 80s. It was neat, right? Except for the Jeep. I think the Jeep they had was in the 90s, but whatever. But
Oh, so tacky though.
yeah,
It was really, but yeah, like not overly, but like, yeah, I don't know, that interior of the house, like nothing made sense. Like the moment they stepped into that house and they showed the house, I was like, ooh, I'm struggling with the design choices of these people. Why would you have that color there with that? What is hanging there? Like I was immediately judging the rich people with the terrible furniture and like just interior design. But I liked it. It was again like a nice, like there's attention to detail in this movie with a lot of the stuff, which, and again, it came across so effortlessly. But at the end of the day, it's people that really like go and like think things through, and we need to make it look like this because this is what the people like, that's how they would do it. And like, it's a lot of work. And again, kudos to everyone. I thought it was pretty cool.
yeah, they cleared everything out, bought everything new, dressed the place, and they just focused on it. Yeah, I dug it. I love it. I keep saying I love this movie, and I don't care because I'm really happy that we're promoting this film because it's one of those that just puts a smile on my face. It's subversive enough, and I dig it.
Yeah, totally.
I gave it a mention on our 2021. I think I said favorite cast or great cast. I didn't put it in my 5, but I'm glad I picked it because I had to promote how refreshing the characters were. But I would put, okay, I like Alexis a lot. She's cool, but I would put Val on my all horror squad because she just seems like a fun wild card. And she's not, like Val wants to be a leader. I think, no, not Val. Alexis wants to be the leader. Val would think she's a leader, but just be down to cause chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she would.
Val versus the Joker.
Yeah, she's even got a Harley Quinn vibe to her, I think. Like,
oh,
a bit nutty. I can see her playing Harley Quinn.
Yeah. No, that'd be...
Right?
Do it. Make it happen. In 4 years when they reboot it. Yes. Let Margot Robbie direct it.
Yes, Margot.
Make it happen.
Maddie Hassan. Yeah.
Yeah, make us the associate producers. It's cool. All right, well,
and I want to see more from Amy Forsyth too. Like, I mean, she was good as Beverly. I thought she commanded a performance. Like, what is that saying? Like, yeah.
No, I
liked her.
And she's done a lot of horror though. She was in Hellfest. She was in A Christmas Horror Story. She also did a lot of work on Channel Zero, which is a gnarly show. So she's a horror veteran, which I kind of like. Nice. She's been doing that stuff for a while. She was in the Lizzie Borden Chronicles. I don't know if that's really horror.
I don't know that.
Yeah, but I mean, she's like, these are all she's good.
Yeah, nice.
What's interesting with her role is she couldn't be the loud one. So I wonder what it was like on set watching Maddie go bonkers or Alexandra get those crazy eyes, and then she had to be the kind of rational one. I wonder if that's fun or not. Does that make sense? So you're the sort of the glue.
I think like it always looks like a lot more fun to play the crazy characters because in a way it is like they're not bound to they're not restrained as much. So that is the fun part of playing it. But at the same time, what I loved about the character of Beverly is most of the time she was more just like this attitude of, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, this is like, when they go tell her, go get like, what was she supposed to go get in the barn?
Oh, yeah, some weapons or...
to break the door down. And she's like, oh, like, why do I have to do it? Again, like, it's a very, like, teenager thing, like, a whole attitude about it. Like, oh, this is so putting me out. I can't even. Which is also fun. Like, I think, and then, like, with her being we see through her the horror that she's seeing, like, oh, this is not right. But then, like, when do I say it, when not? So I think, like, playing that intense character, I mean, she obviously got into it well. I think it was still fun. I would play that character.
So, final thoughts about this movie?
Yeah, no, I really loved, I think one of my favorite moments is probably the baking sheet, like
bonk.
The bonk, the double bonk. I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say about it. It's so much fun. I wish it got more love because then it would mean we would have a sequel because it's so right for a sequel.
We summon more darkness.
We summon more darkness, yes.
Not again. Oh, brother.
We summon the darkest darkness.
Oh, there it is. That's even better. Yeah, I like it.
Like
Cool.
it.
But yeah, yeah, you're right. The bonking part is my favorite. I just love a good sheet tray kitchen fight.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like I said, I love that line, that first line, like makeup is like war paint for sex. The lines in this movie was also great. There were a couple of few lines. I thought it was well written in general. It's awesome to hear that, yeah, the writer wasn't precious about like killing his babies and whatever. It's a very good attitude to have if you are a screenwriter, a writer in general. It's a good thing. Don't get too precious. And yeah, more women in movies saying, I need to pop a squat.
Real quick before we get out of it, that was her first. So the bath, like when they went to the bathroom to talk, that was her first day of filming. That's a pretty.
Okay.
That's an interesting way to get everyone comfortable together.
Oh wow, yeah. That was I love it. I always love to find.
Oh no, go for it. No, go for it.
No, it's just like, yeah, I always like to know exactly like the sequence in which like films get shot because it's also so interesting. And especially like, yeah, if you're into filming and stuff, just like, yeah. So what got shot first? What got shot last? Like, It's interesting.
Always the deadly action scenes at the end in case they die or get injured. That's the rule. Never do it first.
Yeah. Injuries.
Ay. All right. Well, hey, where can people find you?
On Twitter at Sanandi. And there you can see what I do, and that is it. I always have the shortest plugs on here, and I'm actually pretty proud of it.
And I'll include your Twitter handle in the post, so people will be able to go check that out and do it. You drop praying mantis pictures, cat pictures.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Animals and movies, and yeah, some
underwater
crazy
plugs.
Opinions, like.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Mark. It was fun.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer.
Hurry up, I need to pop a squat.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, representing Boetas, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.